Alright, what is up everyone? DSP here, and welcome to the Week in Preview. Today is Sunday, July 17th, 2016. Obviously, I'm Darkside Phil. We've had an interesting month in July so far. This, in particular video, this Week in Preview, is going to be incredibly important. The reason being, this week, for the first time in a year and a half, I'm actually taking some significant time away from daily live streaming and making new gameplay videos on a daily basis to take a few days off and actually do some relaxation over here in the city of Seattle, which I live about 45 minutes away from. I actually live in an outskirt or suburb of Seattle. So in essence, I'm taking a short vacation this week, alright? I figured this would be the perfect time to do so, because as you know, the summer typically is the slowest time for new video game releases, and in particular, this July has been slow as dripping molasses. It just has been no new high-profile games at all. In fact, if you actually look at the stuff that I've done so far this July, right, it was playing and finishing up a new game from the makers of Limbo, checking out the new DLC from Street Fighter V, including 2 new characters and the story mode that was released at the very beginning of this month. A patron multiplayer event where I played multiplayer with my patrons from the previous month. In addition to that, Ask the King returned, which was pretty awesome. And yes, I did actually go back and took the time to do a new replay playthrough of Resident Evil 5, the remastered edition on PlayStation 4, so I actually could legitimately say that I played that game from start to finish and beat it legitimately, rather than that first time that I played it, I kind of had someone carry me through the game because I didn't understand what was going on, and quite honestly, my commentary was absolutely terrible because I was drunk for half of the playthrough. This was a much better take at the game, okay? So when you look at all of that, and then you look at this past week, right, where this past week I played this new Ghostbusters movie tie-in game that was an absolute flop, and then I did this game called Fury, an indie game, for a couple days, and then I ended up playing some more Overwatch and doing stuff like that. It certainly has not been a very eventful month. In fact, it's been the slowest month of the year for gaming so far, and kind of going case in point with that, it's been the slowest month of the year for me business-wise. I mean, there's not a lot of attention on DSP Gaming right now with my gameplay streams and my live gameplay videos because there's really not much going on in the realm of gaming. You know, there is a hardcore audience that comes by and watches everything that I do, but that mainstream audience that comes to see me play new games and interested to see my take on new stuff haven't been around for some 2 to 3 weeks because there's been nothing new to cover, alright? Now, the good news here is that the past 4 months, starting March, April, May, June, were outstandingly good. Every month was great performance. I made a good amount of money with my business, so I was fully expecting that this July, with no new releases, was going to be a terrible month for the business, and it's okay. Even if this month ends up being the worst month of the year, you know, financially for me, it's certainly not going to make or break my business, and I should be able to continue on pretty positively. The other good thing is that August is a very busy month for game releases. Just off the top of my head, I can tell you, No Man's Sky, King of Fighters 14, the new Deus Ex game, Attack on Titan, and that's only 4. There might actually be even more titles released this August that are high profile, but that is a crazy busy August. Typically, August has maybe 1 or 2 titles near the end of the month, and that's it. This year, it's jam-packed with new stuff that people are going to be interested in seeing, and I'm very interested in playing. So, even with the slow July, I'm feeling very positive about the rest of this year, especially with all the new games that are slated for the hardcore gaming season coming up. So, I think we're going to be doing good for the rest of the year, alright? So, I want to say up front, thank you to those of you who checked out my stuff. Thank you to those who are here for every day, for no matter what I'm playing. Thank you to those who do turn out when there's something that just interests you. No matter who you are, if you've been watching my stuff and helping spread the word, in general, this year's been really great, so thank you for that so far, alright? I want to say that up front, because I know a lot of people are looking, oh my god, Phil's DSP Gaming, no one's turning up for the stuff this month. It's okay. Like, the summer, I was expecting this to happen. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. There was nothing really going on in particular that was going to draw people here. For the past 2 years, the summer ends up being my dead time of the year, okay? Now, let's talk, because this week in particular is going to be very, very different from a typical week where I do live gameplay streams every day. But just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean there's not going to be stuff for you every single day. There will be. In fact, in a lot of ways, there'll actually be more than usual. Alright? So, the good news is, knowing full well that for the next 4 days I was going to be in Seattle, and I was going to be doing tourism-style stuff, and I was going to be having time off from live streaming, I have prepared an abundance of videos for you to go live on DSP Gaming over the next 4 days, so that you're not just left in the cold with nothing to watch all week. Because the bottom line is, if I did that, chances are by the end of the week when I'm doing fun new stuff again, maybe people just wouldn't show up, and they'd write me off and say, well, Phil didn't do anything all week, oh well, I'm not going to come back. And that's the nature of the beast with YouTube, is if you don't keep people engaged and interested every single day, you're going to have drop-off. That's just the nature of how this business works, alright? So, what's going to happen? Tonight, I'm doing the weekend preview, Sunday night. Earlier today, I did a big chunk of Persona 3, about 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay. That got me into a whole new area of the end game of the game. People are saying probably another 2 major sessions, and I'll actually wrap up the playthrough finally. That has been going since March. Yes, it's finally going to conclude, which is awesome. I'd like to get that completed so that I can move on to other stuff in August and not have it still lingering as I'm playing through new games and stuff in August, okay? So that's good. In addition, this past week, there was a lot of other stuff that I did. For example, I did 2 special vlogs right here on the King of Hate Vlogs. If you didn't see them yet, I did one regarding the controversy around PewDiePie and Warner Brothers Studios and the Shadow of Mordor campaign years and years ago, and how it blew up in the main media this week, and how they were trying to villainize PewDiePie. I basically talk about, first of all, my thoughts about that, but then relating it to my content and stuff. So that video was very popular. It almost has 10,000 views already right here on the channel, which is awesome. And then today, just this morning, spur of the moment, I decided to do a video about the new Ghostbusters reboot movie concerning all the controversy and stuff around it, and the fact that finally we have estimates of how it performed in the United States for this weekend, the opening weekend, and it might be some shocking news for some people. So definitely check that video out if you haven't yet. Some people have already said it's the best kind of summary and estimate of the entire situation on the internet. They really like the video, so please check that out. Now, in addition, over on KO Gaming, my YouTube channel where I do edited content, this week I reviewed the new piece of shit Ghostbusters game that was a movie tie-in game for this movie released this weekend, and I also did kind of an impressions video on this indie game called Fury that I played this week, that I was kind of torn between 2 feelings about the game. People seem to like those videos too, so I hope you'll check those out over on KO Gaming. If you haven't had a chance to watch any of this stuff, this is a lot of kind of variety of content I've been putting out for you, and I hope that you enjoy it. So that's it for up to now, okay? Tomorrow, starting tomorrow, no live streams from Monday through Thursday. I won't be live streaming again until Friday, but what can you expect daily? Well, on DSP Gaming, you're going to see every day new gameplay videos. So here's the rundown of those videos, alright? On Monday, it's going to be Street Fighter V. It's going to be the matches that I played with patrons, and then for about an hour to 2 hours, I did random matches with just random people who joined a fighting game lobby with me in Street Fighter V. There's a significant amount of matches there that I got in with them, and those are all going to be uploaded to DSP Gaming tomorrow. So if you want to see me play against a variety of opponents in Street Fighter V, that's going to be going live on DSP Gaming tomorrow. On Tuesday, now this is something completely new and different, I actually did cooperative gameplay in Resident Evil 5 Remastered with Leanna, my girlfriend. If you don't know this, she loves Resident Evil 5. She actually owned it on the PlayStation 3. She platinumed the game. She played the living hell out of it. She did all the trophies and everything for all the multiplayer modes, and that was one of the few games she even told me she's ever platinumed because she actually liked the game so much. So we sat down for around 2 hours last week, and we played almost, I think it was every map but one, of the Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 5. Some maps we completely sucked, some maps we did really well. In fact, we actually got 1 double S ranking. So it's pretty cool to see us go back and forth, and we get, you know, verbal communication, helping each other out, succeeding or flubbing it in the Mercenaries mode. And so around 2 hours of that gameplay will go live on Tuesday on DSP Gaming. On Wednesday, I've got 9, that's not 9, I've got 9 more matches remaining of Overwatch gameplay. This was from the multiplayer gameplay that I did back this Saturday, and it covers characters like Pharah and Winston, you know, some characters that I necessarily haven't played that much with before. In particular, Pharah I have not played much with at all. So that's who I focused in on during that session of gameplay. So 9 more matches, which is roughly anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours of more gameplay of Overwatch. That will be going live on DSP Gaming this Wednesday, okay? And then Thursday, I actually have 2 kind of smaller sets of leftover gameplay that I decided I'll release on the same day. First, I played with Ibuki, one of the new DLC characters for Street Fighter V a few weeks ago, but I only released the first half of her matches. Now, I'm going to be honest and upfront with all of you here. They're not the best matches. Like, I like the character of Ibuki, but because the online gameplay is so delayed in Street Fighter V and you can't really react to stuff well, I lost a ton. Like, she has a great reversal, but I could never get it to come out in an online match and be able to actually effectively do stuff with her. So I got very frustrated during that set of matches, alright? Admittedly, up front, I'm very frustrated during these matches. So I've got the rest of those matches to upload, and then I actually did a set of Rocket League gameplay with about 3 other people. We played for about an hour and a half when I was doing my multiplayer events with the patrons. And so that also will be going live on Thursday. So, Monday, all about Street Fighter V against viewers and patrons. Tuesday, Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries co-op with Leanna. Wednesday, the final Overwatch gameplay from the weekend. And Thursday, Street Fighter V Ibuki as well as Rocket League co-op with patrons. So, 4 days worth of kind of multiplayer style gameplay for you, so you're not bored. If you want a couple hours of new content, you're gonna get it here on over on DSP Gaming. Excuse me, I'm putting this video up on my vlogging channel, of course. So there you go. There will be no live streams though, okay? Making that abundantly clear. I will return to live streaming on Friday. We'll talk about that in a second because I think you're gonna like what I have in store for you to end the month of July. All right. Now, Monday through Thursday, while I'm not live streaming, I will be in Seattle, okay? Now, tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to be packing and preparing and getting all those videos I just mentioned queued up and for to be uploaded and published on YouTube. And then about halfway through tomorrow, we're going into Seattle. We're checking into a hotel. We're going to walk around a little bit. In fact, it's going to be our first opportunity. I don't have the phone here. I was going to lift it up and say, to try out Pokemon Go, because Leanna's been playing it because she's been going to work the past week messing around with it. I haven't had a chance to play it at all because I've been busy here at home and it doesn't work inside of a house really. So it's going to be our first opportunity to kind of walk around Seattle a little bit and try Pokemon Go and see, can we catch some Pokemon and do stuff like that. So we'll be doing videos about that, but in addition, we'll also be vlogging all of our stuff there. If we have a delicious meal, if we go to sightseeing to do certain things, we're going to be vlogging all of that, all right? So we're going to be doing that Monday through Thursday, and we're hoping during that span of time, that 4 days, to do things such as the Space Needle, possibly the Chihuly Blown Glass Gardens. Maybe we're going to go to either the Pacific Science Center or the EMP Museum again, both of which we've done in the past and actually really enjoy. One day we want to go down to the kind of the water side and do like the Pike Place Market. We actually want to go down to the water, the actual water, and go to the aquarium that's right there. Maybe even eat along the water or possibly go on the ferry or do something like that one day. And then one day we want to go to the zoo, which is actually on the other side of Seattle, but it's a big zoo that takes several hours to get through. So that'll almost be our whole day. So that's all the stuff that we have planned. And yeah, we want to vlog all of that. We think it would be totally awesome if we kind of vlogged all that stuff for you. And daily uploaded videos right here to the King of Hate vlog. So I am right now officially forewarning everyone. If you're subbed to this channel, alright, I've got some like 30-some thousand subs on the King of Hate vlogs. This is my vlogging channel where I do vlogging. If I'm vlogging a vacation, it's going to be here. I haven't been on a major vacation in a long time, so for a lot of you, you might be like, I've never seen Phil do this to the channel, I don't understand. That's the purpose of this channel, alright? Every vacation I've been on in the past 3-4 years has been on the King of Hate vlogs. So understand, vlogging is coming in a big way this week. I don't want people to be subscribed and get upset. Why is Phil uploading so many videos this week? I gotta unsub. That's the purpose of the channel. So please don't go, oh my god, I'm so angry. My inbox was flooded with 20 videos today because Phil went to an aquarium and to this place and he made all these videos. That's the point of the channel. So if you're subbed here and that's not what you want to see, you're subbed to the wrong channel. So please understand, don't complain and get all frustrated. I'm forewarning you ahead of time. This week there will be a lot of video activity from Monday to Thursday right here on the King of Hate vlogs, alright? Now, when I return later in the week, Thursday night, Friday, there's potential that maybe if we've done enough coverage of, say, Pokemon Go, maybe I'll do an edited video where I edit in our walking around Seattle and what we found while we were doing this and the different Pokemon, and maybe we can even have screenshots. I'll try to take screenshots and stuff in the game and integrate them into a video if I can do it. I don't know how well it's going to go. I mean, it's been very hit or miss for us. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it's terrible, and certainly I don't want our entire trip to be walking around playing Pokemon Go. I want to do normal tourism stuff. Now, I'm staring at my phone the whole time. So, maybe we'll try to integrate it in. It'll be an added thing to do, but it's certainly not going to be the focus. So if later this week I don't have anything extra for you, please don't be disappointed. But there's potential there might be an edited style video with Pokemon Go involved later this week. All right? Now, here's what I think you're going to like. When I return on Friday, I'm not going to start slow. I'm not going to start off fizzling, you know, and nothing. No. I'm going to hit the ground, boom, with something that's great, and that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see. I'm going to be playing Silent Hill Homecoming this Friday. Now, this is a Silent Hill game I have not played yet. It was released in 2008, so this was actually before I was doing major playthroughs on YouTube, so it was just before when I would have covered this as a new release, and I actually would have done a video playthrough of it for YouTube. I've now played Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, 4, and Downpour, alright? Now, there's still other Silent Hill games out there I haven't played. Homecoming is one, Origins is one, I think there's one called Shattered Memories, and there might even be one more on top of all those, alright? But there hasn't been a Silent Hill game in a long time, and there's no plans on releasing another Silent Hill game ever, because Konami, yeah, in all their wisdom, doesn't want to do it anymore. They just want to make fucking pachinko games because they're a bunch of idiots. So, it's a sad fact that this series is all but dead. So, I want to play all the Silent Hill games. Even though I've heard a lot of them aren't very good, I want to experience them all. And the bottom line is, this summer's been slow. We need some survival horror to kick stuff up a notch, right? We need something different and interesting rather than just kind of go through the motions and playing downtime games. I want to do something exciting, and I think this is the game to do it, to get people excited later this week. So that's going to start on Friday, my live stream on Friday, usual time and place, over on DSP Gaming, alright? And I'll be playing that over the weekend. Now, what can you expect for the rest of July, alright? It's very simple. I want to play through Silent Hill Homecoming, alright? That's number one. Number two, I want to complete Persona 3. For those of you who've been following the Persona 3 playthrough from March, alright, I'm happy that I've played the game, and certainly I like the game. I would not have continued to play the game if I didn't like it. The bottom line, though, is that I really do feel Persona 3 was not as good as Persona 4. I think that in a lot of ways, the story of Persona 4 was more streamlined, it hooked you better, and it kept you more interested, while Persona 3 is more like, alright, boring grinding gameplay in the dungeon. Alright, now you're out and you do some S-Links, a tiny bit of snippet of story. Alright, back to the boring gameplay of the dungeon. And you just go back and forth so much you feel disjointed from the game. It seems like it's more of a grinding situation than an actual complete gameplay situation. I think Persona 4 did a better job of balancing everything and keeping the story moving. So, for a lot of people, the Persona 3 playthrough, are you still playing that? Yeah, I still am. Today I uploaded up to part, like, over 130-something parts and still going. The good news is, I'm almost done. From what people are saying, maybe 2 more major sessions or so, and I just got to finish up the final S-Links, the final story. I guess it goes through like the end of December time-wise in the game. And then there's a major development in the story, and then you go back to kind of the Tartarus dungeon for a final go. People are saying I'm pretty much at the end of the dungeon at this point. There's really no more grinding gameplay required. I just have to get through several hours of story and developments in the classroom and the S-Links and everything to get to the final end game of the game, and then I can finally finish it up, alright? So it's my goal, the next week when I return starting Friday, to balance Silent Hill Homecoming with Persona 3. So you're going to see those 2 games alternating and balancing for that final week of July, okay? Now, some people have asked me, Phil, are you going to play The Answer, which is kind of the follow-up to Persona 3 FES? It's another 20 hours of gameplay, but most of it is grinding in a dungeon. No. The game is far too long as it was. It's taken far too long to get through it. There's no chance that I'm going to go and start another half of this game. And I never promised it. And most people, when I started playing the game, told me not to do The Answer, that it's terrible anyway. So no, I'm not going to be doing that. Alright, I just want to make that abundantly clear. Now, some people were under the impression, alright, that apparently I didn't deliver on a patron goal earlier this year because I was supposed to do Persona 3 as a Patron's Choice playthrough. And why is it that I started it in March and I'm not finishing it till late July? Well, those people are deaf because they didn't pay any attention back in early this year when they were explained what a Patron's Choice playthrough is. If you don't know, Patron's Choice means that if we hit a funding level on my Patreon, right down here, for a particular month, in this case I believe it was actually the month of January, the patrons then in the month of February, they nominated and voted on a game they wanted to see me play. you know, starting, actually I take it back, I think it was February, because I think they voted on it by late March, and so I actually started it in late March. The way Patron's Choice works is that I'm promising you 12 solid hours of gameplay. So that could be 4 major streams of 3 hours, it could be 2 major streams and then some secondary streams, but it's basically promising 12 solid hours of gameplay for whatever game wins the voting. Now the bottom line is, for most games, like a game like this, probably the game would have been completed before even the 12 hours, but because people have voted twice now for long-ass, drawn-out RPGs in Persona 4 and 3, it hasn't been possible to beat these games. These are some of the longest RPGs of recent memory, so of course there was no way I could actually finish those playthroughs. Now, luckily for me, and for the viewers who were interested in those playthroughs, I decided that I really liked those games and I wanted to continue them as a full-time playthrough, but I told everyone up front with Persona 3, there was no way I was going to be able to play it full-time. With the insane amount of new releases that came out in March, April, May, and June, there was just no way. So Persona 3 became the downtime playthrough that I balanced with all the new stuff while the new stuff was going on, and it worked out well. About once a week, if not more, I was playing the game. Some weeks I would play it 2-3 times because there wasn't much going on with new releases that week. And now here we are finally in late July, and I'm going to be able to finally complete the game. And you know what? I didn't stay away from the game for too long of a time period at any point. I stayed up on what's going on with the game. It's not like I come back to the game and I completely forget what's happened and I don't know what I'm doing or playing in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I stayed with it, so the playthrough's been consistent and continuous. You can watch it from start to finish, and it doesn't seem like there's a giant gap, or it doesn't make sense, you know, between this video and this video. Phil doesn't know what he's doing. That really hasn't happened. So, if you're one of the people who were fooled by people saying that I was supposed to finish this game in March, stop listening to idiots who are just trying to talk shit about me. It's not true. That's not how it works, alright? So I'm looking to finish Persona 3 by the end of July. Why? Well, I'm bringing all this up for a reason. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the patron's goal for this month, I'm going to show you right now, is the return of the Patron's Choice playthrough. I didn't want to do this again until I had completed the last game that was selected for Patron's Choice, which was Persona 3, which will be completed by the end of this month. So therefore, we're now in a great position, coming up here in the end of July, to do a second Patron's Choice playthrough for the year. The way this will work is that if we hit the funding level on Patreon for this month, alright, just like I mentioned, over the course of August, patrons will be nominating and voting on the next game that they want to see me do a playthrough of, and that playthrough will actually start in early September. As I already said, I'm promising you 12 solid hours of gameplay, alright, in early September, and then if it's a game that's longer than that, and I choose to continue it because I really like the game and I want to finish it, then I'll do so, okay? Patrons have not been disappointed with any of the Patron's Choice playthroughs so far. So please, if you want to see me do a game and you want to have control over it, you don't understand the overwhelming power. Just think of it this way. Come back here on camera if I can find the freaking right scene. Hold on. Here we go. Just imagine the power that the patrons have. Because both Persona 4 and Persona 3, these were like 60 to 70 hour playthroughs, right? That I've done. That's a lot of fucking gameplay for the year determined by one monthly goal. That's an insane amount of power, and if there's a game, man, I really wanted to see Phil play this game. Now's the chance to get my voice heard and try to rally people behind the cause and get people to nominate and vote on this game for Phil to play in September. Now is the time. So please pledge to patreon.com/DarksidePhil. I'm bringing this up now because when I come back later this week, there's only going to be a week left in the month. So it's going to be kind of do or die, and right now I can tell you we're several $100s below the goal because there's been nothing going on. With no new releases, I can't attract new people to the channel. I can't get people to pledge because I'm just kind of doing downtime stuff. Hopefully with Silent Hill Homecoming coming this week and the conclusion of Persona 3, we'll get more people engaged and interested in pledging near the end of the month. I certainly want to hit the goal. I've hit the goal every single month since I started in early 2015. It would be crazy if I didn't hit the goal and didn't do this Patron's Choice playthrough, but that's how Patreon works. I've got to hit the goal so that we can do the celebratory event. Please consider pledging over the next week, as when I come back, I'm going to hit the ground running, finish up Persona 3 for you, and then we're going to move right into the next thing, okay? Last but not least, alright, before I end this video, the status of the Sonic the Hedgehog Marathon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not aware, we did hit the Patreon goal for June of 2016, and the patrons have spoken. They've overabundantly voted. They want to see me play Sonic 2006 in this upcoming marathon event. Oh boy, I'm excited. Now the truth is, I know that Sonic 06 is one of the worst Sonic games, if not the worst Sonic game ever made, and it actually is one of the worst video games ever made. Because I owned it. I had it on PlayStation 3, and I couldn't get through 2 hours of it. I was so frustrated with the bugs and shit in the game that I just fucking got rid of it. Alright? But for the patrons, for a marathon event, I think it would be entertaining and funny to see me suffer through this game and keep plugging at it and get through it and beat it. Alright? So, I need to buy the game when I get back from vacation, and what I'm going to do as soon as I get back, I'm going to order it, and everyone has told me on social media the Xbox 360 version is the best version, so that's the version I'm going to buy. And I'll start playing that. It's going to be the first week of August, okay? What I'm actually going to do is after I get into Shattered Memories. After I get into Silent Hill Homecoming and I see how long it's taking me to finish Persona 3, then I'm going to schedule in sometime the very first week of August for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Marathon. The way it's going to work, it's going to be one day where I play it as a marathon setting, where I'm actually going to be starting around noonish, and I'm going to play to like 7 p.m., and we'll see how far I get in the game. Chances are, if the game is as big of a piece of shit as everyone says, there's no way I'm going to finish it in one sitting. If people are liking what they're seeing, and they want to see me legitimately suffer through and finish the game, I will do so that week, but it's going to be the rest of it like a normal playthrough, where it'll be like a stream of 2 or 3 hours of gameplay, balanced off with other stuff, so that way I'm not just doing Sonic marathons like crazy all week and it's screwing everything up with my schedule or whatever. But I will do it for one day as a marathon, and then if people like it, I'll continue on that first week, okay? So that's coming. So just think about all the awesome stuff coming up when I return. Silent Hill Homecoming, the conclusion of Persona 3, the Sonic 2006 Marathon, and then before you know it, No Man's Sky is coming out in August, and then a bunch of other new releases. So I think it's going to be exciting once I get back from this vacation, alright? But please don't forget about things like Patreon. Don't forget about the videos I'll be uploading to DSP Gaming, or the vlogging I'll be doing here. If I don't get any attention on anything while I'm gone and I come back from 4 days of nothing, that's going to be a big problem. And that's why this week in preview in particular is so important that you spread the word. If you see people saying, why is Phil not streaming? What's going on with Phil this week? Where the hell is he? I don't understand. You know, let them know what's happening. Please spread the word. Direct them to this video so they know what the hell is going on, so that there's not mass confusion about what is Phil doing this week. Is he ever coming back or whatever? You know, a lot of people have been saying that Phil's stuff is really slow lately, and they're right, because it's July. There's no new games. That's the nature of my business. When there's lots of new games, boop, there's a spike. When there's nothing going on, boo, there's a dip. And right now, I'm at a dip because there's nothing going on. I'm hoping with this stuff next week and then continuing on into August, we can get it at least kind of plateauing a little bit better until the new releases come out again. Then, whoop, we're back up to the top. All right. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a great year and allowing me to go on this vacation. That seems to be one other point of contention amongst people who aren't too smart, because I've been saying for 4 months now, my business has been up for 4 months. Performance has been great. I've been doing good, especially with the explosion of KO gaming in the months of May and June. Things have been doing really good. So I can actually afford to go on a mini vacation. And some people, but the Phil's finances are so tight right now that he can afford to go on a vacation. You're stupid. You obviously don't listen to anything. I've been saying for 4 months, things have been going great. That's why I can afford to do it. And, you know, these people who just want to criticize everything and call everything out and act like they know what they're talking about have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. That's why I get to do this, and that's because of you, the viewers. Because you guys came out, you checked out all the new releases, you checked out my E3 coverage, you checked out KO Gaming, you spread the word about the new channel when I was putting up videos on it. You did all this. It's your help that allows me now to get 4 freaking fun days off. Thank you. I need it. I really freaking need it. I've been so stir crazy in this house, working every day, that I need some time off. And hopefully if we can keep this pattern up, right? Let's say I could keep this momentum going, and by the end of this year we get like 3 or 4 more solid months by the end of the year because of all the new releases or whatever. Maybe next year I can actually go on a vacation that's not here. Like I can actually go to California or something, right? For a week and do like a normal vacation that people do like I used to do back when I lived in Connecticut, and I haven't been able to do since I moved here. Maybe I will get back on track to being normal again. You know, that would be pretty awesome, because I do understand that I get kind of stir crazy and I get annoyed, and I do kind of get worn out doing the same thing every day. Even when there's new games, sometimes just the grind of it every day can be tedious. And I don't want that. I want to come back feeling refreshed and excited for you so that when I come back and I play new games, you hear me excited about it again. And not that I sound tired or whatever in every video. I want to have that refreshment, but I need the opportunity to do it. And finally, now, thanks to you, I have it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep it up, and hopefully we can keep this going. Maybe, like I said, next year, California would probably be an awesome trip that I would love to do. So we'll see. Fingers crossed, all right? All right, everyone. That's the weekend preview. Lot to absorb, a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please spread the word if people have questions about this week. Without further ado, thank you to the following June patrons who have made a lot of this possible with their ongoing support. Please consider pledging for this month for that next Patron's Choice playthrough. Peace out, everyone. I'll see you later this week for live streaming. In the meantime, follow me at TheyCallMeDSP on Twitter, where I'll be putting up pictures and tweets and everything about what we're doing on our vacation, and you'll know exactly what's coming every day. Peace out, everyone. Thanks a lot. I'll see you this Friday.